What's up, everyone? Wayne here, back to take a look at Roma's Europa League opponents in the knockout round, Red Bull Salzburg. Let's take a look.
If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks.
Alright, I'm still accepting that match, that loss against Lazio, but to sum that one up in a few short sentences, I think it was a cagey match, ultimately decided by a mistake. Neither team playing spectacularly good football. The game plan goes right out the window as soon as Lazio score. Roma make that mistake. Given Roma's countering and defensive tactics, once you give away an early lead, it really blows out plan A, B, and even C. However, Roma pay the penalty of possessing the ball so deep into their line. Ibanez had very few realistic options. I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm just making the claim that when you look at the rest of the team shape, there really wasn't a good choice there besides just kicking the ball out. And that's a result of bad off-the-ball movement. Lazio, has to be said, defended well against a Roma team that's been struggling for goals. It was the perfect storm for the Biancocelesti. Ultimately, this one ends 1-0, and I think that if it didn't happen, it looked like a 0-0 game to me, to be honest. Did Roma do enough for a win? Did they do enough for a draw? I don't think so. So what you have to do right now is you got to take that one on the chin, learn from it, and learn how to apply. Learn how to fix exactly what went wrong, pinpoint that, and make sure that it never happens again. Comes to a derby, it's very painful for the fans, for the players, everyone. But, with the break coming up very soon, Roma will get that extra time to really work on these things. Now, Roma's Europa League opponents, Red Bull Salzburg, very interesting team here, part of the Red Bull organization. They've owned New York Red Bulls, just a few miles from my house, as well as Leipzig. They also own a team in Brazil, Brigantine, and they have a reserve side there, as well as in Austria as well with FC Liefering. They actually began in 1933, started as SV Austria Salzburg, and then were purchased by Red Bull in 2005. They play in the Austrian Bundesliga, where they are currently in first place, 4 points ahead of Sturm Graz, where they just faced October 22nd and to a 0-0 draw. They've been more consistent in Champions League than any other Austrian team, so you could say that they really represent Austrian football. They've been more consistent in European football than any other Austrian side, and that's really represented in some of the players that have come through this team. We look at Erling Haaland. We know him very well. And then you've got even Dominik Szoboszlai, who went to Leipzig in 2021. Hwang Hee-chan, who went to Leipzig and now Wolverhampton. And even Patson Daka, who joined Leicester in 2021. Really interesting striker there. They were knocked out of the Champions League after losing most recently against Milan. They also lost against Chelsea, but I think the interesting thing was that they drew both those sides as well, Milan and Chelsea, and finished 4 points ahead of Dinamo Zagreb in Group E. They let in 9 goals, scoring 5, so their goal differential not so great. However, they do have some really interesting players I want to take a look at. We've got Noah Okafor, 22-year-old winger. He's been most compared to Leao. I really like this player, not just because he has the, let's say, all-important quality of a winger, being very good on one-on-ones, being able to shoot, nice curling left foot that he has, but also that he's got some bulk to him. He's got some size, some strength, meaning he can push off outside backs. He can make space for himself. But on top of that, one other really interesting thing is he can make the simple pass. He can make the perfect pass. He's got vision from the wing. And I think that is a skill set that not many wingers actually have. So I would say that he's probably Salzburg's most dangerous player. Being 22 years old, coming up from a team that's, fighting in Europa League, a lot of the top teams are going to be looking at him. His contract expires in 2024, so he's got just a year and a half on it. This is going to be the summer where he's actually looking for teams to bid on him, so he's going to be trying to get in some big performances. Okafor here, dangerous. Another super interesting player for Salzburg here is Luka Sucic. He's a midfielder truly worth checking out. 20-year-old versatile midfielder. He can play as a regista, a mezzala, or even a trequartista, as you can see sometimes in the spaces he occupies on the pitch. But I think he's really, really interesting. 6'1", born in Linz to Bosnian parents, does not hold Austrian citizenship, actually because his parents, they fled during the war. For reference, a little bit about this player. His idol is world-class midfielder Luka Modric, player I really, really, really like. He's got a rocket of a left foot, works well as a player who can sit at the top of the 18 when attacking, excellent passing range, seems to have a very high football IQ, plays those looping balls over the top of the defense. So a player who I think's got a really good brain on him. One underrated asset is his control. This kid can escape pressure like the best of them. He's got such a good foot on him. He can pull it back, dance around the pressing player, and just make things happen. I think that's one virtue of a very good player, is that they just find a way to make it happen. They think very quickly. And this goes back to what I'm saying about his high football IQ. Defensively strong in the air and a smart tackler. I have to say, if Roma's looking for defensive mids in the next coming year or two, this is a player worth keeping your eye on. With Susic and Okafor, Salzburg is a team which can hit you from a lot of different areas, but don't discount the other players as well. This is a club which really, I think, prioritizes its young guys, is a place for real development. They look to make money off these guys eventually, whether it's from going up to the next Red Bull stepping stone of Leipzig or being sold off to an even bigger club. This organization really knows what they're doing. Looking forward, though, what Roma could end up facing here is Manchester United or versus Barcelona. I don't really want to face Barcelona. Do I want to face United? Well, a little bit more than I would want to face Barcelona here, but the one thing that I could say is that Roma could get revenge for the past 15 years. Since I'm 15 years old, I'm 16, I remember Roma taking that loss against Manchester United, second leg of the Champions League. I believe it was the quarterfinals, and just Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, just crushing my dreams as a teenager. So I always think about, if Roma gets the chance to take Manchester United again, I want it. I want that chance of redemption. Will it come? Roma has to take one game at a time. There's 2 more matches before the World Cup break, before they can drill on the things which have really been not going so well at Trigoria. We've got Sassuolo coming this shortly, and then Torino on the back end. So 2 good games where Roma can pick up 6 points. Bracing myself now. I know that Roma is going to be playing in 3 tournaments. Comes to the Coppa Italia, comes to the Europa League, and Serie A. Keeping up pace is a very difficult thing. We see the teams that are not playing in Europe, such as Atalanta, doing very well. Roma needs to hang on, and I think that this World Cup break is coming at the perfect moment. I think that's the silver lining here. Let's keep on, hope on that things get better, and keep pushing. Forza Roma, as always. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you know about Red Bull Salzburg, your opinions, your feelings right now, and give this video a like. Ciao, guys. Talk to you soon.